Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of The Chef You and I. And you know, I have with us my really good friend and chef, Terry Young. Hi, Terry.
Hi.
And you know what, Terry? Actually, we're doing a vegan meal. And you know, this is Lent, so it makes sense.
Right.
Instead of eating just fish, you know, a lot of vegans don't eat fish, right?
That's right.
So we're doing a wonderful product from the Quorn Company, and that's Quorn. And here's the thing. I had him on my radio show about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and actually the wonderful thing about this is a lot of their products have no garlic, and guess who can eat that then? Me.
You.
And aren't you going to tell me that you were thinking about...
I have been reading up on trying to be vegan.
Right. You're trying.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with the cheese part, but other than that,
Well,
I can do without the meat, you know, the actual.
Right. So what we're going to do, and actually these products don't have a lot of sodium in it, which makes it even better. So, you know, Quorn is actually a company here in the United States, and it's distributed by Quorn Foods in Chicago, Illinois. And it's part of a wonderful company that actually is, the Quorn logo is a trademark of Marlowe Foods Limited and is used under the license in the USA by Quorn Foods Incorporated. So I want to thank them. They've sponsored this whole show, and they also sent all of the products. So we're using their recipes, and they allowed us to put their recipes up on our television show. So what's the first recipe that we're doing, Terry?
We're going to do simple Thai noodle soup with corn meatless pieces.
So what's the first thing I need to do, Terry?
You need to.
Okay.
I think what we're going to do is heat in that large skillet the olive oil.
Right. Okay.
And the sauteed onions.
The sauteed onions.
We're going to
So that's
saute the onions.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, and I'll put this in here. Okay. Let's do that. Now, which onions do I have to saute? The big one?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
going to, yeah.
So I need to chop that up. But in the meantime, Terry, can't you do the other part of what we have to do?
We also have to cook the meat.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Open that up, right?
open this up and put
You
this
want to
in
show them what it looks like? Or just take one of the pieces out and show it to them? That's what it looks like.
Chicken chunk looks like a little chicken chunk.
And they even have little ground. They have meatballs. They have a chicken. It looks like chicken, but it's not, right? So I'm going to slice this up, and we're going to put that into our skillet and brown the onions. So this is a quick soup. It only takes 20 minutes to make, which is really cool. And we're going to use fresh carrots and all these wonderful spices. We're going to let you know what the recipe is. So this soup is called the Simple Thai Noodle Soup with Corn Meatless Pieces. The ingredients are 10.5 ounces of corn meatless pieces that we put into the skillet over there that it's cooking, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, a large onion crushed and sliced, and you know, they said garlic crushed, but guess what? You know that I am allergic to garlic, so we're going to put that in the original recipe up on our website. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 7 ounces of coconut milk, and that's what it looks like, and 4 cups of vegetable stock, which we have in there. Then you put, what Terry's doing is we always use carrots that are already peeled. and she's slicing them. A half a cup of baby corn right there, and a half a cup of sugar snap peas sliced in half. Well, we're doing something different. Since we couldn't get them, I looked everywhere. We're using these in the soup on top of it, okay? And 1 cup of rice noodles cooked, which we've already cooked, and 2 spring onions finely sliced, okay? So that's the recipe. It'll be up on our website. And in the meantime, I'm browning these. And after we do that, Terry, can I ask a question?
Yes.
We then add, let's look and see what we add now. Okay, so we've already done that, and for about 5 minutes, and they're getting brown, right? Okay, and good. All right, and then what we do is we add in all the spices and cook for 2 more minutes. Right. So I'm adding all the spices. Right. This looks good, Terry, actually. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we'll just do that for a couple of minutes. And that's what it looks like, right? And I love this pan because it's so easy to use. And you want to cover those with those spices. And I think the camera can get that. And then what we're supposed to do with that is then we're going to add the coconut milk. Okay, 2 minutes worth. It's going to be about 2 minutes. I'm going to get those spices in there. All right. And that looks pretty good, Terry.
Yeah,
so I'm going to add the coconut milk, which is actually, it was a half of a 14-ounce can, so it's 7 ounces of coconut milk, right? And the coconut milk and the vegetable stock I got to add to it. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, wow. This looks lovely. And so this is the vegetable stock. It's 4 cups of vegetable stock. All right, that's done. So we can add all this stuff in there.
I'll do that.
Right. And then we actually want, and the vegetables. Whoops. We need the vegetables.
Okay.
So we're going to put those in for 20 minutes. We're going to cook this for 20 minutes till it's done. Right. Here you go. Put that in there. And you can see what it looks like now. And we're going to cover it. And we're going to set the timer, Terry, for 20 minutes. Okay? So where do we go? That's it. We've got it in there and ready to go. So then what we're going to do in the meantime is she's cooking the pieces. And how long do you have to go on that?
7 minutes.
And you're almost there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we can add that to this, right?
Right.
Okay, so it'll take a few more minutes and then, but you know what you could be doing is you could be cutting up the bread that we're going to use with the soup. What do you think? It's right in front of you. I'll get you a bread knife. Okay, here's a bread knife, I think. Hold on. There's one. And give me that, and I'll take that over, Terry, for you. And you can cut the bread, and then we're going to use this on top of it. So this is the cool part. When do we add the noodles, Terry?
I'm not really sure. I would wait. You wait until after the vegetables have cooked.
Yes.
Because the noodles are already cooked.
See, here's the noodles right here. I want to show. We already pre-cooked them, and you don't cook them. Actually, you put them in really hot water. We boiled the water, and then we put them in there for 20 to 25 minutes. Right. And these are Thai noodles, and that's what's part of it. So, actually, we have all that in there, and we need to bring it to a boil, which we're doing for 20 minutes. And then we want to add in the noodles and also this right here, right? So this is almost done. You want to do that, and I'll finish this.
Yeah.
Okay. So 7 minutes.
It smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good. So this is, it looks like meat, actually. I was really shocked when I opened it up. But I did some, when I first got them, I went to the store and bought it after they called me. And then they sent all the rest in the mail, right? So the funny part about it was they look like little chicken nuggets.
Right.
And you bake them in the oven or you fry them. And they were really good. You dip it in sauce and stuff like that. It was
Sauce.
delicious. So,
My son uses their brand, and he uses the meatless, the ground.
the ground,
And
we're
he
going to do
makes
that. We're
his
doing a chili.
tacos.
We're doing a chili,
He
right?
makes the taco and the chili.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We're gonna make both of those, and so we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I with Terry Young, myself, Kathryn Raaker, and actually, what did you do, Terry? You
I took the meatless chunks, pieces. Sorry, I took the meatless pieces and we cooked those in oil for 7 minutes.
Right.
Now those are done. We're going to add those to their soup with our rice noodles and let them cook for about 3 minutes.
right, 3 minutes.
And
That's
then
all.
that'll be ready
So I'm
to
gonna
go.
take this top off, Terry, because
Okay.
it's boiling now, right? And I'm gonna put that over here, and then we're gonna add the noodles.
Okay.
Add the noodles that are already pre-cooked, right? And hold on a second. And then give me these. You want to, let's
Yeah, you just
put those in there. All right, so thank you. And then you're going to let this stay for 3 minutes in the soup, and then you're going to be able to serve the soup because the broth is really hot. And so let me know when 3 minutes is up, Terry, and we'll
Okay.
be able to do it.
All righty.
And then we're going to do a chili. And I didn't know today was National Chili Day, but I found out that it was. And that's kind of cool
It
that we're
is.
making the chef program with. And I've never had meatless grounds before. Have you?
I have.
And what do they taste like?
Well, whatever spices you put with them is
It
what
really
it's gonna,
makes a difference,
like if
huh?
you make it with
You think we could become vegan? I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but I might. You never know. So, anyhow, but we will be done with this in just a second. And then we're going to, can you hand me that right there? Because we're going to show it in the serving bowl right there. And it's going to be beautiful. It's really pretty. Did the camera get to see what it looked like now?
yes.
Oh, wow. This looks beautiful. So you're just really heating the noodles.
Right.
That
Letting the
makes
broth
it, doesn't that look
soak
good?
up. It does look good.
Oh, wow. And, you know, you can call your free, you know, you don't have to be vegan to eat a vegan meal, right?
No, you do not.
And they make this really easy for you because before that, I remember a few years ago, but I hear Quorn, you know, Quorn has really got a good product out there. You
Oh,
know, it
yes,
really does.
yeah.
And the recipes are really simple and not, you could have your family meal done so shortly. I think it's beautiful. So I think we're about there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to actually unplug it because we're going to, I need a spatula or something over there that I can put this in, Terry. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells great. So do you want to,
I'll lean it, and you can.
okay. And then we're going to put that in there. And look at all those wonderful vegetables and noodles, right? And it's a Thai dish, right? And we're going to be serving that tonight. And actually, there's no garlic in this. This is for me, but in the regular recipe, there is garlic.
Right.
So you'd want to put that garlic in there. I mean, especially if you're a garlic lover, which a lot of people are.
I am.
But if you've lost your gallbladder and you can't digest it, then that's why. So I think that's, and then we can save some of that. Let's put some of these vegetables in there. They're beautiful. Now, that's when you put those green, wonderful pieces in there. Okay. So actually, I think I can get this whole thing in there, Terry. I think I'm going to do that. Because, guess what? I need the pan. Do we need the pan for the next one?
No.
No, we don't. Okay, so there it is. All right, so we're going to take that over. Let's put that over there in the center and see. And you want to serve it with a crusty bread, it says, right?
Right.
And that's our first dish. So pretty simple to do. This is the Thai
Meatless
meatless
rice noodle soup.
soup. That's it. So we're going to get a picture of it, and we're going to take a break now. So that is, like I said, this is the simple Thai noodle soup with Quorn Meatless chicken. How about that? And it looks and tastes like chicken, actually, which is really great.
Right.
All right, we'll be right back on The Chef You and I with Kathryn Raaker and Terry Young. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I, and Terry, this is really going to be fun. This is a wonderful corn meatless chili. And we had during the break that wonderful Thai soup. Woo, was great.
It was.
So what we're going to do first, Terry, is you're going to actually, I'm going to give, I need this because we need to do the onions. We're going to actually take the onions and we're going to brown them, which you already sliced the onions for, or chopped the onions for me. It makes it so nice when you do that for me. And when we're done with that, so we're going to brown those, right?
Right.
So you're going to be using the corn, they're meatless grounds. And it makes it really simple to use them because, especially with the chili, right?
Right.
So she's going to open those up, and I'm going to tell you actually what's in this recipe. And this is Quorn's recipe from the Quorn Company, and it's a 12-ounce bag of corn meatless grounds, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a medium onion, 1 red pepper diced, 2 fresh chili peppers, red chili peppers, finely chopped. We're not using the garlic, but it's 2 peeled garlic cloves minced, and 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 3 teaspoons of ground coriander. It's a lot of stuff, actually. 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 14 ounces of diced tomatoes, 2 cups of strained unsalted tomatoes or canned unsalted crushed tomatoes, 3 teaspoons of low sodium vegetable broth. That's tablespoons, isn't it? That's not teaspoons, that's tablespoons.
Tablespoons.
Yeah. 15-ounce can of kidney or pinto beans rinsed and drained, which she's already done. Salt to taste, which is optional. We don't use a lot of salt.
Right.
And I'm going to use the 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro leaves chopped fine. I'm not making it for you guys, though. Okay? So you're doing what right now, Terry?
I am cooking the meat, the grounds.
And it takes how long, Terry?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. And this is already done for you. You just get it in the freezer section. Actually, the Quorn Company sent me a lot of the things that we're using today. And this meal was easy to make. I mean, these aren't hard to make at all.
Right.
And, you know, I have to tell you it. Actually, at Hooters, they have... Quorn has made a special chicken wings for Hooters.
They did.
Yeah, they don't do them in the regular freezer section, but you can get these wonderful products at everything from Kroger's to Meijer's to just look up the stores, go to the quorn.com site,
Right.
put where you live, and you'll find out exactly where you need to go. So this is about done, actually, Terry. So
Then you're gonna
then I'm
add
going to add the bell
the
peppers.
bell peppers.
And then the chili. Here we got that, right? And then let's see
We'll
what
let
it
that
says.
cook for 5 minutes.
You let that cook for 5 minutes?
Then we're gonna put
And
in
then
the
you add
spices.
the spices into it. So you have to do this first. And so I think I'll just actually cover this and let that cook for about 5 minutes, okay? And we'll do that. And then you're doing that. And so the nice thing about this wonderful dish, Terry, is it's using basically fresh ingredients and wonderful spices.
Right.
So, you know, if you've never had a vegetarian meal, the spices really make what
It
we're doing
definitely
today.
does.
I can't wait to see what this is going to... This looks... I'd love to have the camera come over here and look at this because it looks just like ground beef. Isn't that... That's really nice, Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really wonderful dish. So we have everything to go, right?
Yes.
And so this will be done in about 2 minutes. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is this time of year, we're still in the, you never know what the season's going to be or what the weather's going to be. So, actually, we are going to be doing a DIY program for the Kentucky Derby. How about that? We're going to do a whole show around that. And then we're going to be doing some Mediterranean kind of dishes because we are a healthy cooking show here. And see how wonderful that looks? Wow.
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and add the...
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's... Okay, I would add all the other stuff to it. I'm going to turn that down a little bit.
Because this says like to add the chili, but we're making the chili so that you guys can see
what it looks like.
What it looks like.
So, and then we're going to add those and the spices, right?
Yes, and then this is the vegetable broth.
That's a vegetable broth, right?
And you bring that to a boil.
Okay. And then you add the spices in, or you add in the ground part of it.
Add them in.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Here we go. That's the chili powder?
Paprika. No, I think here's the chili powder.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and then stir that around. Okay. I love chili. Don't you love chili? Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a meatless chili.
This is a meatless chili.
We could do a thing with that. Hold on. I don't think we do that yet.
No, not the beans.
Just that.
I was just bringing them closer to me.
Okay. And here's this. And if you've never tried any of these spices, right, it's really cool. And you can make it hotter if you want to, actually. And but you want to get that all in there. It's not a really... like some chilies, Terry, got a lot more liquid in them.
Right.
This one doesn't, which surprised me. I suppose you could use a little bit more, you could add a little bit more to it. I mean, liquid to it. But that's kind of cool. That looks beautiful. Okay, we're almost done with those, right?
Right, and then the beans you put into the meat.
Okay, and into the meat?
Right.
Okay, and you drained that, right?
Right.
Okay, that's cool. So those are kidney beans, and they're going to be really, really good. I can't wait to put that all together. And then you cook this you stir in the kidney beans and meatless grounds and cook for another 10 minutes, okay? And we'll be doing that in a second. And you put it all together in a second. You want to put that in there now? Why don't we do that? Because then we have to cook it for 10 more minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Add that to it. Oh, look at that. That looks delicious. I will. Wow. Whoa, that looks really good. Yeah, I think that's going to be really nice. It looks more meaty than you usually see.
Like a chili corn
carne or something. Right. Yeah. So 10 minutes, I think, on a little bit low, right? Lower. And we'll let that go. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the chili, and we'll show you what it looks like in the end, okay? We'll be right back on The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I. And Terry, what is this?
This is meatless chili con carne.
With corn?
Oh, with the corn meatless grounds.
And they look just like ground beef, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So we're going to serve it up. We've already done a picture for our website.
Right.
And we want to thank the Quorn Company for the recipe. So we are going to scoop it in here, right? And put it in here. And I'm not doing this too well. Oh, well. Whatever. So that's one. Okay, here's one. And then we're going to give our producer one and let him try it, right? Because he doesn't like cilantro like I do, which this is really cool.
It smells good.
I know.
Smells like chili.
It smells like chili. Really, it does. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll give that one to our producer, okay? And then I'm going to try it too. Believe it or not, I'm going to try it. There wasn't any garlic in the meatless, were there?
We left it out.
Oh, yeah, but I meant, was there any in the actual package? I just need to find out before I try it. We're going to try it now, Terry. And we have some crackers if you'd like to have some, and let's
Okay.
hear what you think when we try it.
Tastes like chili.
Right. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be doing our salad, and then we're going to be doing another with the fillets. Okay? We'll be right back on The Chef You and I. It's actually really good, Bill. Okay, we are back on The Chef You and I with Terry and myself, Kathryn Raaker, and now we're going to be doing the Quorn vegan fillets with Kalamata olives and capers. Those are the Greek olives that we have, and you can see the olives right there. And believe this or not, we're using olives and sun-dried tomatoes recipe. It's an easy and delicious meal for you to enjoy with your friends.
Right.
So this is the first time we've ever made any of Quorn's recipes, and so far they're delicious, aren't they? And we really loved that chili con carne.
Oh,
it was
it's good.
delicious, absolutely. So what's the first thing we do, Terry? I think we actually...
First of all, I'm going to take the oil
Right.
and put it in our pan.
Right. There you go. And you're going to get that hot, and then you're going to cook the fillets for
gonna
7
cook them.
to 8
And
minutes.
here's what they look like. They just look like little patties.
Actually, like a little piece of fish, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to do that. She's going to cook those for 7 to 8 minutes. And then we're going to add the olives, chopped sun-dried tomatoes, and capers. And you know, I've got to chop those sun-dried tomatoes, Terry.
Oh, okay.
So I just need to get a little cutting board out, if you don't mind. And I'll do that on one of these clean ones that I have in the dishwasher. Okay. Terry likes to clean everything before she does it. Okay, so if you could give me those sun-dried tomatoes, I will chop those up, right? So that's what, this is actually, believe this or not, these sun-dried tomatoes, right, are in oil. And you can see those right there.
Right.
And then we're just going to chop those up real fine. Hold on. They smell good, though, Terry, actually. They really do. They smell good. All right. They almost, you know what they almost look like? They almost like prunes,
Right.
you know? And so we're going to do that. So if you just hand me the rest of them, and I'll get those done.
Okay.
And, yeah, they're really oily. So I tried to find some other ones, but I couldn't. These were the only ones I could actually find at the store. So, and this is the most expensive part of the dish.
Is the
Yeah, the
tomato.
sun-dried tomatoes. So, you know, you got to like sun-dried tomatoes, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're chopping those up. And how is your meat doing?
It's
Is it doing good?
yeah.
These recipes really don't take long. That's the nice thing about it. So if, you know, you come home from work, you're tired, and you really don't want to have to spend hours in the kitchen.
Right.
You know, I do a lot of stuff on the weekends, too.
I think each one's been about a 40, with getting out and measuring everything, about a 45-minute.
Yeah.
And you're eating.
And usually, you know, people come home, maybe have a little time, put stuff on the stove, and then they just go ahead and eat it. So this is actually 3 cups of actually sun-dried tomatoes, okay? And then I think we add the oil to it. I don't think you leave the oil out
No,
because
I
it said.
think you added in there.
Yeah, I know. So this is the rest of them. And you know what? I got their last sun-dried tomatoes on the shelf, believe it or not. People must love these sun-dried tomatoes. I like fresh tomatoes better, actually.
Yeah. I do too.
Tastes better, I think. But if you're crazy about sun-dried tomatoes, this is a really great idea. So, and they turn out really nice in a dish.
They do.
So, they do.
I do eat them, but
Yeah. I've never seen any of them this big before.
neither have I.
These are giant ones. Oh, wow. So, and we still have a little bit of oil in here. And what we're going to do after Terry gets done with that is we're going to actually deglaze your pan.
Right.
And with white wine. We're going to deglaze the pan with white wine and taste, season with salt and pepper, and I need to get you the salt and pepper out. How about that? You don't have to use the salt, Terry, but please use the pepper if you can.
Okay.
Okay, so here you go. This is yours. And so anyhow, we're about ready. They're about ready, aren't they? No? They take a little time, don't they? We're going to take a little short break, and we'll be right back on The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I, and we're actually getting ready to take the meatless fillets out. And then Terry's going to do what?
Deglaze with the white wine.
Right. And then we're going to add everything into that one pot right there, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
For
do
about
this,
2 minutes.
Terry. I think they're done, so let's, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to take those out. Is that hot, Terry?
I'm all right.
You all right? Okay, we're going to put those in there. And then she's going to glaze the pan. Okay.
This one sit off to the side.
Because you like, hold on a minute. You like it without anything on it, right? Because you have a real problem with salt, right, Terry?
Right.
Excuse me. All right. So let's keep this out for you, okay? So I would kind of wipe that out, Terry, a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes, and if you're not using,
burnt, right.
you're not using a cast iron skillet,
Right.
it's different. So I want to get that. Let's.
Here, I'll take
Yeah,
it
you
over
do
there.
that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to add to our pan all of the other things on top of the fillets, correct, Terry?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to add all of these wonderful things too. So I'm going to add this. These are the olives, and actually the capers and the sun-dried tomatoes, right? And look at that. That all goes
I'm
together.
going to go ahead and deglaze the...
And deglaze the, and then add that to our thing. And then we're going to add this to it, right? That's the parsley, right? And you think we should add a little of this oil into it, Terry?
Yes.
Okay. Let's add a little bit of this oil. And that's it. That's really simple. So, just a second, I want to move this over here. And we're getting ready to deglaze the pan, right? And while you're doing that, I'll put this in here. No, I don't want to do that. And then I'll move all this over here. So, the fun part of cooking is that you have to clean up too, right, Terry?
That's right.
That's the fun part. And getting everything ready ahead of time. And what we do on our show, actually, is we get everything ready to make it simpler for us, right?
Right.
So we don't have to have a big cleanup in the end. So that really smells good. So how long are we cooking that for, Terry?
About 2 minutes.
Really? I've got to get a spatula, right? And we've got to do that. So if the camera can come over here for a second, you can see what it's doing. And the tomatoes actually turn a little redder after they cook for a while. So how's that doing? I think it's getting ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead and pour that in there?
I think so. I put that in there, Terry. And that's a wine that goes over on top of it. And so, and we're going to serve this in a few minutes, and we're going to show it to you. They showed it, Terry, on actually in a cast iron skillet, didn't they?
Yes.
We're gonna actually show it on a platter because I think it's much prettier that way. What do you think?
Yes.
And we just cook this for 2 minutes. Is that
2
it?
minutes.
We will do that, and we'll cover this up. And let's go over. Let me do the ingredients again. Okay, this is done. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So let's talk about this real quick. So you had actually you can use 8. We used 4.
Right.
So you could cut it down a little bit. Olive oil, Kalamata, olives, 3 cups of sun-dried tomatoes in oil, 1.5 cups of capers, 1 cup of wet white wine, salt and pepper to taste, and parsley. So we told you how to do this. And all of our recipes, Terry, as you know, are up on our website, and this is thechefyouandi.com. And you can print out the recipes, then you can watch the shows on our website as well. And we're all over the place with it, right?
Yes.
And we even do LinkedIn. We do all of the social medias. So I think that's about 2 minutes, don't you?
I do.
Okay, we're going to put that on a platter, but we're going to just take a real short break and we'll come right back and show it to you on the platter.
All right.
We'll be right back. Now we're finished with this beautiful corn vegan fillets with Kalamata, olives, and capers. And now you can see what it looks like. And actually, we only used 3 of them, basically, because you can actually use 8. And so, but Terry can't have salt, and there's a lot of salt in that recipe. So, but it looks delicious. I heard that it was.
Yes.
And we're going to try it. And so, but our next dish that we're doing, Terry, is corn vegan pieces, and guess what?
Quinoa.
Quinoa salad. We'll be right back. We are back with Terry Young and myself, Kathryn Raaker, and we are making from the wonderful corn recipe and the Quorn Company, corn vegan pieces and quinoa salad. Now, the first thing, Terry, we marinated this.
You marinate the meatless pieces for 30 minutes.
In the dressing that we made. So you want to tell us what's in the dressing? They're right there. 3/4 of a cup of pineapple juice.
Right.
1 tablespoon of grated ginger. 1.5 tablespoons of, and we use soy sauce, and we use the light, no salt, no sodium soy sauce. And 2 teaspoons of rice wine vinegar. And that's the dressing. And I made a double one because we already drained a little bit off of this. Right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we've got this on, so I need the oil, don't I?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to put the oil in there, right? And the pan's actually hot. And then what we're going to do...
We're going to let the meat cook, the pieces cook.
I know you want to say meat, but it's meatless, isn't it? It looks like meat, doesn't it?
It does.
It's really... Boy, look at that. Now, those were in there for a good 30 minutes, and we got a lot on the meat, so you're going to taste that dressing. It's really...
Right.
It smells
Those
good.
are going to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes.
Yes.
And then we're going to add our other ingredients.
Okay, and what are those going to be?
I'll just get them over here ready for you.
Okay.
So we're going to add the kale.
Right.
And then we're going to let it cook for 2 to 3 minutes.
Right. All right, so that's that. So actually, I'm going to move this over here, Terry. And they actually want you to tear these up. So I think maybe tearing them up a little bit more than I did.
Right.
And this is baby kale, fresh baby kale that I got at the store today. Isn't that nice? Don't you like kale, don't you?
I do like kale.
I love kale. So it's a nice kale salad. So we actually we have some of those wonderful Edam snacks that we're going to use in this, and we couldn't find them. We couldn't find fresh ones today, which was tough. So we just have to keep an eye on this, and that is...
Why don't we tell them what the ingredients are?
Okay. The ingredients are 1 bag of corn vegan meatless pieces, and you have the bag or the piece over there, and we'll show that in a minute. A tablespoon of olive oil, 1/3 cup rice, uncooked, and you have to cook the rice, believe it or not. And then 1/2 cup of Edam beans, which we couldn't, so we're using those on top for flavor. 2 handfuls of baby kale, roughly torn, 25 to 30 red grapes, half. So I need you to half those grapes.
Oh, okay.
And freshly chopped mint leaves. So if you could do that, we have some knives here, actually. Let's use this one. And so that way you can do that. And then I'm going to watch this meat real closely. And we're going to turn this over. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to turn this meat over. Meatless meat. I want to say meat and it's not. It's meatless. So, I mean, it actually looks just like chicken, doesn't it?
Yes.
And for somebody that's not a vegan necessarily,
And the pieces do taste like chicken.
they do. And that's the cool thing about it. You know, it has that flavor, and which is really good. And wonderful. So this would be a nice salad for lunch or a Sunday afternoon after church maybe, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, and you're doing those, and then we have the rice, so we're going to add all that to it, right? And you want to give me those, and I'll chop up those mint leaves while you're doing that. Okay, so these are fresh mint. I love mint. Don't you?
I do.
It tastes so good. And, you know, this time of year it's hard to get certain things unless you go to a specialty store, right? And but I got as much as I could today, but we couldn't find those beans for some reason. They must not be in right now. Okay, so there's the mint all done. I think the meat's ready, Terry.
Yeah, I think we can put the kale in.
The what in?
The kale.
The kale in? Okay, I'll take that and put that kale in.
And then you cook that until it starts to wilt.
Okay. And it doesn't take long for that, right?
Nope.
And I just love kale. I think it has a nice taste to it, right? And that's 2 handfuls of kale, baby kale. And that looks so good. And it tastes good too. So there's all of it. And then when do I put the mint in?
All the other ingredients, once that starts to wilt, all
Yeah.
the other ingredients are stirred in your bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we'll let that
And the
just
mint
wilt
is
a
put
little.
on top.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. All right. So what have you been doing lately? Now you've done those, and then when do we put the rice and everything? We put that in the big bowl,
You
right?
put it in the bowl.
So so you've got all that done.
Right, you cooked your
Yeah.
rice earlier and your quinoa.
Right. So you just make this ahead of time. So you could actually go to church if it was on a Sunday or a luncheon or something and do this ahead, right? And have it ready for everybody. That kind of looks like it's getting wilted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this didn't take very long, did it?
No, not at all.
I thought that was simple. And, you know, it wasn't hard to find most of this. It was simple to do. So now what we're going to do is assemble it all
Yes.
and then put half the dressing on top of it. Is that
Right,
correct?
right.
Okay, so we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. No, we're not. We're just going to put it together. Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this in this wonderful, beautiful bowl. And then I'm going to need all of those other wonderful things to do. Okay. And this looks great, Terry.
I'm going to move this and let you bring that bowl over here.
Okay. And then we can put the rest of it in there.
Oh, let me see
So-
if I can just clean this up.
Anyhow, I've really enjoyed the Quorn products. They're really good.
They are
Very, very good. And they don't have tremendous amount of calories in them, which is great. Makes you feel good about it, right? So I'm going to unplug this, Terry, and I'm going to bring this over to you. And we can actually put this all together then. So we're going to add everything now, right?
Right.
Okay. So let me have, I'll take this and add this to it.
The rice.
And you just mix that in, right? Mm-hmm. And then you also mix in the quinoa,
Right.
right? And that's there. That should be enough of that. Okay. I made a little bit more, so I think that's plenty.
Right.
Right. Sometimes
gonna
people don't
Put
like
these
quinoa.
grapes over here.
Okay. Put the grapes in. And then what about the pumpkin seeds?
Yeah.
And those pumpkin seeds are already done. And so you just add those. That looks cool, doesn't it? With that greenery, that's really pretty. And then actually the mint leaves,
Do you want to do the leaves and then the...
Oh, we want to do the dressing first.
Right.
Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. We're going to do that. Just put a little bit of dressing on. Oh, that looks good. All right, that's enough. And then let's have the mint leaves. All right. And we also want these on top, right? So just scatter them around, right? And looks really good to me.
It does.
Right, so here we go. That's enough of that. So we're going to put it over here and put it on this red. This is really pretty. And we have a final dish. What do you think? So we're going to take a little picture of that, and then we're going to do a little dessert with some strawberries, fresh strawberries.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of our show, right? Because you need to have a fruit or a fruit
Right.
or something. And so we had some fresh strawberries and some whipped cream or whatever, and we'll put that on top of it and show that in a nice glass, and we'll be done. Okay. And we'll be right back on The Chef You and I with Terry Young and Kathryn Raaker. Now, the piece de resistance, Terry, now that we're back, is dessert. So because we're doing a vegetarian show, we are going to be using a nice little fruit for dessert. So here's the 2 glasses we're using. What I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, is put the blueberries in first, okay? And we've already washed them all. So, and then we're going to use a little bit of whipped cream, okay? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. You can do this part. You're good at that, right? And then we want to use some strawberries on top of it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to put 1, 2, what? We're going to get it in there. Okay, let's do that. And put some more blueberries in there, or some more whipped cream. And then blueberries. And we're going to do that. I'll do this one right here. And you put blueberries in the bottom of that, correct? All right, so we just want to put more in here and then just put some more in there.
One more and then...
All right. Instead of using cake or anything, we're doing something really different, right? And this is easy to do. Your kids can even help you do this because they love to do whipped cream, right? And so I'm just going to finish this, put some more whipped cream in there, please. Lots of whipped cream. That's enough. And then put some berries in. Some berries in. This is kind of fun, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. And your kids like to do this kind of stuff. And this makes it really nice. And we've got other recipes from the Quorn Company, and we want to thank them again for sponsoring it and sending the wonderful recipes. And guess what? Can you put some more whipped cream in there for me? And here's one of these and one of these. And guess what? We have no more time, Terry. We're done. And we want to thank you for joining us today, Terry.
Oh,
and we want to thank our audience. And you have to go to thechefyouandi.com for all of our recipes. We're on all the stations across the United States. You'll love our show. And if you haven't, send us your recipes, right? And to kraaker123@gmail.com. We'll see you next time on The Chef You and I. See you soon. Bon appetit.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.